And we are back with another episode of the J. Niles Road to the Show here on MLB The Show 17. There you see his stats heading into the start. 19 games started, 7-3 record with a 1.74 ERA. Exactly 150 strikeouts in the year so far. And here in the top half of the first against the Jackson Generals, he gets the third batter to go down, looking on the changeup outside half of the plate. Still scoreless are the Jackson Generals. Top half of the second now, 2 outs, nobody on, 0-2 count, blow the cutter right past him, cuts on his hands, can't hit it, whiffs right through it, can't catch up to it either. And now we move on to the top half of the third, both teams still scoreless, 2 outs, 2-2 count, and the changeup falls out from under him, down and away, strike 3, still hitless are the Jackson Generals. Moving on to the top half of the fourth now, as Niles buckles this guy up, he cannot get the bat off his shoulder. Big sweeping curve there on the back half of the plate, backdoors him. And now we have runners on first and second with nobody outs, as the ball is going to be hit a slow roller up the middle, and the guy is going to be able to score from second base. So there's a first run of the game for the Jackson Generals. They get themselves on the board, and now we move on to the top half of the sixth inning. 2 outs, nobody on, 1-2 count. Changeup falls out from under him, down and away, swings through that one, way out in front. And the Chattanooga Lookouts would win this game. Niles gets himself the win. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, and strikes out 9, only giving up that 1 run on that slow dribbler. Did not walk anybody either. Now we'll move on to a start against the Birmingham Barons. Bottom half of the first, 1-2 count. Gets a guy to go whiff through his big breaking curveball. Drop third strike though, so it is thrown over to first to complete the play. Move on to the second inning now. Nobody on, 2 out. Chattanooga's up 1-0. And Niles is going to get a pop fly to right field. Can of corn for him out there. He'll put that one away. Move on to the third inning. Still no runs for Birmingham. Chattanooga's up 1-0. And he gets this guy to go down looking. He cannot get his bat around through the strike zone on the changeup that was perfectly placed down and away. Bottom 4 now, still 1-0, 2 outs, 1-2 count. This guy grinds at the shortstop, nice play, fire across the diamond, and still no runs and no hits for the Birmingham Barons. Bottom half of the fifth now, still 1-0 lead as line drive right at the third baseman. He snags that one on the line. Move on to the sixth inning. Bottom half of the sixth, 2 outs, first pitch to this guy. Once again, line drive right at the third baseman, snags it. He was playing in that time. Nice play by him. And then Birmingham is still hitless through 6. On to 7. They're hitless still. Drop third strike gets them through 7. And J. Niles is working a no-no, taking it in, or a perfect game even, taking it into the bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom 8th. Changeup down and away, perfectly placed, whiff through it way early. J. Niles is working. Move on to the top of the bottom half of the 9th. First batter of that inning, Chattanooga's up 2-0. And Niles, strike 3, looking up and in on the heater. 1 down, 2 outs away from a no-hitter here in Double-A. And a 2-1 count on this batter. And he's going to hit a ground ball that gets past the first baseman and the second baseman, as it's going to be a single for the Birmingham Barons. That's going to end J. Niles' day. He gets pulled, and he gets a no decision because the bullpen blows the lead. They go to extra innings, and they play 18 innings, where Birmingham ends up winning. So a depressing no decision there for J. Niles and his almost no-no. But now we'll move on to a start against the Tennessee Smokies. As there you saw, he struck out a batter to end the first inning. Now bottom half of the second, runner on first and 2 outs. Chattanooga's up 1-0. Once again, another strikeout there for J. Niles. Raw Dog is being the Raw Dog in this episode. So 2 outs, runner on first in the third. Once again, another strikeout for Niles. He had the strikeout pitch working all game against the Tennessee Smokies, carrying on from his start last time against the Birmingham. Bottom half of the fourth, gets a nice ground ball at the shortstop, fire across the diamond. That's an easy play. And Tennessee still has not scored. Bottom half of the fifth now, 3-0 Chattanooga lead. Niles blows the fastball right past this guy. He can't catch up to it. Another strikeout for J. Niles. So now we move on to the bottom half of the sixth. 1 out, 1 on. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play Jay Niles once again gets through another inning. Bottom half of the 7th now. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 count. This guy's going to pop up into foul territory. Third baseman runs over to the Smokies dugout. He'll retire it right in front of the dugout. And that is the end of 7. Still scoreless are the Tennessee Smokies. Jay Niles gets himself a win. He went 7 2/3 inning, 3 hits given up, 15 strikeouts on the day. He was just mowing through that Smokies lineup. And now we move on to a game at home. Chattanooga versus the Mississippi Braves. Top 1, 2 outs, nobody on. It's going to be a liner right at the third baseman. He puts that one away easily on the line drive. Move on to the 2nd inning. 2 outs again. 1-2 count, nobody on. Jay Niles gets the strikeout on the curveball. Gets him to chase that down and away out of the strike zone. Now move on to the 3rd inning. Top 3, runner on 2nd, nobody out. Bit of a jam for Niles, and this guy's going to take advantage of it. Bloop one right in front of the right fielder. Runner's going to go 2nd to home on the play. There's an RBI single for that guy in the bloop, and the Mississippi Braves get themselves on the board. It's 2-1 now. Bases loaded, nobody out. Even more of a jam. Gets past the third baseman. 1 run comes in. Guy is going to round third, head home, and it's going to be a 2 RBI double for that batter. So 3 runs comes across against Jay Niles, and I believe that's the most runs he's given up in a start all season long. So now we go top 4, 3-2 Mississippi lead, but Jay Niles strikes the guy out to end that top 4. Now we move on to the 5th inning as Chattanooga gets himself the lead back. So he's working with the lead now. 2 outs, strikeout on the down and away changeup, working through the lineup once again. Bit of a rough inning before with the bases loaded, but he does get 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 10 strikeouts, and gets himself or he doesn't get anything. He gets a no decision against the Mississippi Braves, and Mississippi ends up taking the win as they score on the bullpen. Now we move on against the Jackson Generals, who are the first place team in our division, as Niles strikes out that guy to end the 1st inning. Move on to the bottom half of the 2nd. 2 outs, runner on 2nd. 1-2 count, ground ball to third base. He'll fire across the diamond. That guy's a solid fielder. That's an easy play for him. And by solid fielder, I mean he's a pretty damn good fielder. Here we have 1st, 2nd, and bottom of the 3rd. 1-2 count. It's going to be taken in front of bloop in front of the center fielder. 1 run's going to come in, and it's all of a sudden runners on the corners for the Jackson Generals. But a run does come in, and now still bottom 3. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ground ball down the line. Third baseman charges it. He gets the runner out at first, but the runner from 3rd does come in to score. So 2 runs come across for Jackson that inning. And now we move on to the bottom half of the 4th. Jackson's up 2-0. 2 outs, 0-1 count. This guy grinds up to the second base with the high stirrups, and he's going to fire over to 1st, and that ends that inning. Move on to the 5th inning now. Bottom 5, runner on 2nd, 2 outs. It's a tie game at 2. 1-2 count, blows the fastball right past that guy. He goes down swinging. And that would end Jay Niles' day in this game. He would end up going 5 innings, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, and he gets himself a win against the Jackson Generals. And after that start, you see that the Chattanooga Lookouts finished 2nd in their division, or they finished 2nd half at 35-31, but they won the 1st half of the season. So we've got a playoff matchup against the Jackson Generals. Top half of the 1st, runner on 2nd, 2 outs as Jay Niles strikes out this guy on the cutter that runs away from him. And we move on to the 2nd inning here, pitching at home for Chattanooga. 2-0 Chattanooga lead now as he swings way early on that fastball. He would have been way out in front of a changeup, but the fastball blows right past him. Still 2-0 Chattanooga lead as we head top 3 as nobody on. 2 outs, a big curveball down and away, gets the guy to whiff through it. Jay Niles is working early against Jackson. So top 4 now. Nobody on. 2 outs, 3-0 Chattanooga lead, and Niles gets a pop-up to right field. That's a can of corn for him out there in right. And then we're going to move on to the 5th inning now. So top half of the 5th, 2 outs, nobody on. A familiar theme we're seeing in this episode, and he blows the fastball by the same guy that he blew it past earlier in the game. And Chattanooga's up 5-0 now as we head to the top of the 6th. 2-2 count. Curveball cannot get the bat off his shoulder. He watches it hit the bottom half of the zone, and that's a called third strike. Move on to the top half of the 7th. Runner on second, 1 out. As this guy with the highest socks is going to belt one down the left field line. It's going to hit off the bottom of the wall. Runner from second's going to score an RBI single for this guy, and that is going to knock Niles out of the game. He ends up going 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 1 earned run given up in his playoff start. And after this start, some good news for Jay Niles as he gets called up to AAA. The Rochester Red Wings is who Jay Niles plays for now. He had to dominate the entire regular season and pitch one a playoff start to earn a call to AAA, but he finally did it. Jay Niles, his AA stats on the year were 10-3, 1.72 ERA in 25 games started. He was a beast, and now when we take over next episode, we'll be playing for the Rochester Red Wings, the AAA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
Y'all heard about the kid with the Joe Flow, and Joe Flow getting more sugar than glucose to do so. Called you destroyed from Pluto. My head so big, it's like I'm juicing with pool hoes. But look, if you thinking that this juice so nice, then you so right. You rappers looking Bruno's tight.